Hello and good morning. In this video, I want to talk about this social failure I had yesterday and present a question, present my thought process. So I was in Anytime Fitness yesterday, getting a workout in, feeling all good and stuff, and I swear, I actually can't remember the last time I was in Anytime Fitness, which is like 2 to 4 times per week. I don't remember the last time I've been in there and haven't. Actually, Sundays. That's true. Sundays and Saturdays. Every time I'm in there during the week, there's this guy. He works there. He's a staff, and he's got this duster, and he's going around all the machines, and he's dusting. But he's not just dusting like the top of the bench. He's going like in between the cracks of the bench, and he's like lifting it up and getting like the underside. And then today he was cleaning the mirrors with like Windex and like a scraper thing, and he brought out this ladder, and the mirrors are like these full-length mirrors. They're probably like 8 feet tall, and like they extend up pretty high, and he's out with this ladder, and he's getting up and he's getting like the very top of the mirror. And every time I see him, like the attention to detail here is actually insane. I've been to, I don't even know, probably 20 to 40 Anytime Fitness gyms in the US, and I have never seen the level of cleanliness and attention to detail in this gym. And so I was doing my abs exercises, and every time I go to the gym, at the end of my workout, I go and do the little, it's more than a weight scale, it's this Evolt active body composition thing, where it's like you stand on these, like, it looks like a scale basically, but it's got these metal plates, and you stand on the metal plates, and then you grab these handles and you hold them out to the side, and they have like little metal conductors on them too, and it probably does some like electric analysis thing and tells you your body fat and how much water weight versus muscle. It's interesting. It's fluctuated a lot. It might be user error just by doing them at the end. But anyway, I go and do that every time because they don't have like a normal scale just to weigh yourself. So I have to do this body composition analysis every time, which is it's cool. I appreciate it. And that machine thing is in the staff, like, what would you say, like office thing, the room, but it's got like a bunch of glass around it. And every time I go in there, there's like 3 main staff that I see in there all the time. This one woman that I'm pretty sure is, she sits and acts and walks and just appears to be like the woman who's running the show. It's like the manager, or like I don't know if the owner would be here, but like the manager basically. And then so let me describe the room, because it'll be important for the next part of this story. So it's basically a rectangle, and you walk in on the left side of the rectangle. When you walk in, the the body scan thing is like straight in the back left corner. And if you turn to the right, there's a desk. And in the back right corner is where the manager sits. And then facing the back right corner closer is this other staff lady who also looks important, but sitting on the other side of the like computer monitors kind of thing. And then there's always this third girl. There are three women. There's this third girl that's always like on her laptop doing something, but like she works there, so I don't know what she does. But anyway, so walk in, scan is on the back left, woman sitting like somewhere in the middle on her laptop, back right corner, manager, and then back right close corner, other staff. So I'm sitting there doing my ab workout, and I'm like, I hope, and I'm watching this guy like clean the mirrors, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I hope this guy knows he's appreciated, and like his work doesn't go unnoticed. Like, it's one of those things where like you just want to like appreciate the work that's being put in. And like, you know, it's possible he's like, oh, just working another day, I gotta clean these goddamn windows, you know. But like, I appreciate it, and so I had thought about bringing this up to the staff and just like sharing this. And finally, yesterday I was sitting there doing my ab workout, and I was like starting to think about, you know, I didn't definitively say, okay, I'm gonna go up and I'm going to say something to them, but I started to envision it. Like, it just became like an image in my mind, and I was starting to, you know, envision what I would say and the situation and all that. And then I thought about this idea that I'd actually written down. This was like 2 years ago or something. I follow this skier. This is gonna make sense in a second. I follow this ski YouTuber. His name is Lucas Catania. Great guy. I first found him when he had like 2,100 subscribers. And I was like, this dude makes really, really good videos. Like, impressively good videos. Like, why does he only have 2,000 subscribers? He has something like 50 or 60,000 now. And I've seen that grow over the last 3 years, which is kind of cool. But anyway, it was one of the few times watching his early videos back then that I actually felt compelled to leave a comment, because I was like, these videos are really good. And I wrote down the idea that it was like, if you think of something nice to say, you should say it. Hold on. Try not to get hit by a car here, wearing all black. Yeah, if you think of something nice to say, you should say it. And that was one of the ideas that drove one of the decisions that I made, which was to leave a nice comment on his video, because I was like, you know, it's gonna take some work to like put in an actual thoughtful comment. But I was like, you know, but like, we're sharing positivity here, you know. And so I left the comment, and I was like, you know, it's a good idea to like kind of follow. Anyway, fast forward to yesterday, and I'm sitting there, and I remember this idea, and I'm like, you know, it would be great for me to, as an ideal, whenever I have some compliments or something nice to say, to just say it, you know? And I was like, yeah, that's nice. And And so I was like, all right, like, let's go in and we'll say this, share this compliment. And I wasn't even that tripped up on the words. Like, I didn't script it out, but I had a general, pretty good idea of what I was going to say. And so I fill out my water, finish my ab workout, fill out my water. I go over and I walk in and I look over and I say hi. They always say hi back. And I wanted to say this to like the main manager, right? And I look over and I say hi, and she's like on her phone talking with somebody. And the woman that's sitting in front of her in the other corner, she's not on her phone, and she says, oh, hi, how are you? Which is the first time she said, how are you? And I was like focused on like, okay, how do I say this? Like, do I say this? Do I not say this? And I like kind of lost my train of thought or something. And then I snapped back and I was like, oh, this woman asked me how am I? Like, you should answer it. And I was like, I'm good, thank you. And then I put my stuff down, and my immediate next thought was like, okay, well, the main manager is on her phone, and like that's the one. Sorry, it's so freaking loud here. I'll go this way. The main manager is on her phone, which is the person I wanted to share this with. So like, one of those. And so I started to put my stuff down, and I wasn't gonna like stand there just like waiting for her to get off her phone. So I like started taking off my shoes and took my hat off and whatever else, and stepped on the scale and then did the body weight thing, and I was standing there doing the body composition thing, and I was like, okay, well, I can hear her she's like starting to get off of her phone, and so maybe I'll do it at the end. Okay, that would be good. I'll do it at the end. And so I'm standing there, almost done, and then these two girls walk in. Where am I? This is not where I thought I was gonna end up. Anyway, these two girls walk in, and they're not staff, but they clearly know the staff, because like the manager finally gets off of her phone, and I'm like, okay, perfect. And then the two girls walk in, and and she says something like, I haven't seen you in forever or something, and they start laughing and chatting, and I'm thinking, shoot. And so I finished my body composition weight thing, and I start putting on my hat, and they're like still talking, and now it's like there's 5 people in the room and then me, and it's just like I lost my opportunity. I'm not gonna like interrupt their conversation to say this, And so I'm standing there, I'm like putting my hat back on, whatever, and then I look over one more time, and it's like everybody's talking, whatever, and I make eye contact with the same woman that greeted me when I was walking in and said, hi, how are you? And like I did, I waved, terima kasih, and started to walk, and walked out of the room. And I just couldn't help but think like went wrong there? Like, why is it so difficult to say something so simple? Like, it's not even like I was asking for information or there was any kind of like unknown to the conversation. It was like, I just have to say these 25 words and that's it. Like, I don't even need like a thank you or like, just my information needs to come out of my mouth and be processed by this person. But like, I couldn't do it. And as I was walking away, I was like, what just happened? Like, why did I not do that? You know? And, you know, as I was rewind back to doing my ab workout, you know, I felt all confident and like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. Like, you know, when I have something nice to say, I'm gonna say it. And this is like a step in the right direction. And then like, I got to the situation and I just made up excuses as to why I didn't say anything. Like, sure, the manager was on her phone, but like, why didn't I just say it to the other like main important looking person? And like, the other girl was on her laptop and clearly could have listened too, and they could have just like relayed the message to the manager. Or like, you know, so what if the girls walked in, like, maybe that's even a better opportunity to share a compliment and like interrupt the conversation. And so I made all these micro excuses as to why I didn't do it. I don't know. This is one of the things that I feel like I struggle with. And I always hesitate to label with words like that. But it's like the evidence I have to base off of is like moments like these, where it's like, yeah, I'm all confident and like, I can do this and this will be easy. But then you get into the moment and all of these like micro excuses, the opportunity isn't perfect. And so you don't take the opportunity. And then you walk away just with nothing, having not done it. And so as I was walking back to the hostel, I was like, what do you do about this? How do you fix this? Like, obviously it's not a huge problem, but like, it could be a huge problem. It could develop into a huge problem. But it is a problem. I had a thought. I wanted to share something positive. I wanted to compliment someone. I envisioned doing it. And then I didn't do it. Like, there's a discrepancy there. It should have happened, and it didn't. Why not? And so, it's like, on my walk back, I was like, some of the parts of my life, I feel like I'm making great progress. And it's like, yep, have that stamped. We're good. I just have to keep consistent. I just have to like keep getting incrementally better. And then it's like this, and it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel like such a noob. and it's, I won't say this is a representative sample of all of my social interactions, because one, don't want to label it, but two, it's just not true. But it happens, and I think that's the point. And it happens more frequently than it doesn't happen. And so with that same train of thought of like, you know, some areas of my life, I'm like, I'm doing really well, and this is not one of those. And so I don't have an answer. I just have a question to propose, which is, how do you fix this? How do you not do this? You know? Because I just had a thought. I know it's been 20 minutes. I don't care. This is actually, yeah. See, there's a difference, and I think I want to dive into, like, not dive in, but like share my observation as to why this doesn't happen and why. Again, I don't want to label why I'm different. I was at the last hostel I was at. This is like maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I was sitting there working on my laptop, and this guy was sitting across from me. There's another guy like to my right, and the guy across from me like takes his headphones out and he goes, "Hey, what do you do for work?" And I took my headphones out and started explaining, traveling, whatever, building a business, and we got into this conversation, and I started to, how do I phrase this? I started to feel or parse or like get the idea, get the lay of the situation, which was like this guy appears to not have any of these like social barriers, where it's just like he'll just say like whatever comes to mind. And so like halfway through our conversation, we exchanged Instagrams, whatever. And at some point he was like, "Oh, sorry, like I didn't want to like interrupt your work or anything. I just thought like I saw all the stickers on your laptop." And so I was like, "Oh, no, it's fine. I appreciate it." And so I like put my headphones back in. Or I had like one headphone in, and I was like trying to give the message that it was like, "Yeah, like great to meet you, but like I gotta get back to work," kind of thing. And so I was like one headphone in, the other headphone was like right here, like I was holding it. And then after he said that, I put it back in. And then he continued the conversation, and I was like, one of these like breaking social norms or barriers. It's like, okay, we've exchanged greetings. I put back in my headphones that I took out. The conversation has ended. We're both supposed to go back to our laptops. But like you kept talking. Like, hold on a sec. Calculating. And like he kept talking. He's from Indonesia, really cool guy. But it was like, I walked away from that. It was fine. We kept chatting. It was fine. What I walked away with from that conversation was like, he doesn't have something that I have. Like, if you were to plop him in the same situation that I was in yesterday at the gym, wanted to give this compliment, he would have just walked in and started talking and started sharing the compliment. There wouldn't have been this like, "Oh, but hold on, like the manager's on her phone," and like, "Oh, this opportunity is this not a perfect he just would have started talking. And it's like, he doesn't have those excuses or barriers that are in my mind. And I don't know what to do about it. My one saving grace is my future self, which is just my present self in the future, unfortunately. But this is just going to be one of the things that I put on my skill tree, and then I'm going to have to incrementally improve. And so at some point, because obviously what I'm doing right now is not working, so obviously I'm going to have to put some attention, intentional attention towards this area of my life, and figure out, okay, what's the next smallest step that I can say or that I can do. And so like for a week, it's going to be like, okay, rather than say just hi, say hi and how are you? Or like hi and good morning. And then eventually, after enough small steps, I'll be able to say this compliment and be able to break through these situations where all of these like little micro excuses come up that stop me from imperfect opportunities. And so that's the only idea I have. That is the only idea that I have. So anyway, part of me thinks I'm blowing this up to be a bigger problem than it really is, which may be partially true. But like I wanted to like dive into it, because I think the point I want to make is that this is not how my ideal future self would act. My ideal future self, my whatever 35, 50-year-old, 80-year-old self, my perfect ideal would not have this problem. He would just say, oh, here's, something that I want to compliment, and just say it. And so there's a discrepancy there. There is a difference between the ideal that I am placing on a pedestal and my reality. So that's what I have to share with you today. One of these micro moments from my day.